Netcasting live from somewhere near the mid-Atlantic coast, it's the Justin Hustin Show. And now your host, Justin Hustin. Well, greetings everyone and welcome to the program. Last week's show was a piece of crap. I guess we laid the deuce, or dropped a deuce as they used to say, but well, a lot of complaints came in and Bilko Media didn't like it either. So to punish us, the nice folks here at Bilko Media went ahead and defunded not the whole program, but a part of it. So they said they couldn't justify paying for the rights and stuff for such a crappy piece of crap, and that we couldn't have any rights to music and put it in the show. So that naturally sent me on a panic, and I had to call Misskelly on her off day, and I hated to do that, people calling people on their off day. But Misskelly was a real, little sweet doll head about it, and she told me, don't worry, and then she said she'd figure it out and get back to me once she'd finished doing her toes. And sure enough, sometime late Sunday night, she phoned back with some real good news. Now, Misskelly went on to the w.google. and got a hold of the avocado, and I don't know if it's a he, but the avocado people use it in soups and guacamole, but this avocado, he makes music somehow, and Misskelly used her plastic money card to get some of that music for the show. So thank you, Misskelly, and don't forget to remind me to pay you back for that. Just keep reminding me on that. So our hopes of getting out of the break room have been destroyed, but at least we didn't get canceled. And Misskelly, too, I wanted to tell you about the all-day free pudding down at the Milliner's Daughter. That's the diner just down the street for those of you who don't know the borough. And they've been running that free pudding special for about a month now, I guess. Real nice gesture after the health department shut them down back about a month ago. But, just for a few days, everything is okay now. And that free pudding, boy, that's real good stuff. I had the tapioca for breakfast this morning. So try that one, you and Raymond. Where is Raymond? Well, we're in the break room and I don't see him. Where does he go on break? Why is he going on break when the show just started? Well, he needs to get in here and do his job. Well, if y'all go down there for lunch, try out that tapioca. Did you see the parade on Sunday? I don't think anybody did but me. Yeah. Well, it came blasting right down Main Street around 2 or 2:30 or 3. I said, what the heck's going on? And then I peeked out of my blast. I don't like to do that, but I peeked out, and they had 2 police cars and 4 ambulances with a big old fire truck stuck right in the middle of all that mess. And they all had their sirens a-going and their lights, and I guess the borough maniac at the high school basketball team here had won something or something. It looked like them on top of the fire truck, like how they do in New York when somebody wins something and they all go down the street and people throw confetti at them and all. And so they were on top of the fire truck, just a smiling and a waving, and there wasn't a soul on the street. So anyway, a big old congratulations to the borough maniacs. And now the second-hand news. Serial pranksters strike again. For the second time in 2 weeks, a prankster or pranksters has rolled an old car tire down the grassy knoll over by the high school. We'll have an update on that story a little later in the program. And now that update on pranking. For the second time in 2 weeks, someone has rolled an old car tire from the top of the hill over by the high school. This time the tire bumped into an ambulance and then bounced and tipped over into the street. 2 weeks ago, a lady pedestrian reported that her day was, quote, pretty much ruined because she was forced to completely stop almost as an old tire came down the hill and across the sidewalk. The lady told police that she saw a husky male balance the tire before pushing it. She said the male then ran behind a fence. Sergeant Detective Sharman Pinkerton, in a press conference on Wednesday, said that isn't that Estel's brother Sharman? Raymond, isn't Sharman Estel's older brother? Huh? Yeah, I thought so. So, how was your break? Did Misskelly tell you about the free pudding? Okay, good. Good. But Raymond, don't go on breaks during the show. Okay, so, well, if you keep doing it, things like that, you'll end up with the rest of the superheroes down at the temp agency. So, don't. Well, anyway, Sergeant Detective Pinkerton, that's Estel's older and more manly brother, he said that even though borough police have made no arrests at this time, the whole thing is probably just a, quote, play game, and that residents should continue going outside and to the mall. And now the rest of the news. Here are a couple of the headlines we're not following. CES, Sony unveils super thin XBR X93 ODLED DLC TV with BMD, and your Neanderthal DNA may be giving you allergies. Just a couple of the stories we haven't followed or don't follow or aren't following. So when we come back, you know what, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. I'm talking about going to bed. Next on Selfie Help. Welcome to the Nature Store. You feeling okay? Come in, look around, see something you like? No problem. Just bring it to the front. Clarendaralella will ring up your item and place it in the reusable canvas bag that you brought. Soon after, you'll exit the storefront with your purchase and return to the place you call home. No problem. Just like a real store. Need a weekly special? Here's some from old Dandy Dan. He's still kicking. Come on down and get V-Vein Massage or V-Vein Formula A is a body curricular that supports the vein health, strength, function. This massage oil is wonderful, used extremely for sore veins. One key ingredient of the formula is collusion root, which has historically been used to support the vein and the muscular tone. There's a peripheral calligraphy system, and you want to get it's $25.25, and it saves 38% if you buy 4. And a stop ache. Finally, come on down and get it. Stop ache finally available all the time. We have customers who have loved this product for years. Formula is a minor pain relief, has frayed nerve systems, relieving pain and discomfort, promoted circulation and the toxins, assists in regulating normal body weight. 12 suggested retail $21.25. If you buy 4, you get on $25.25. And contains rituals and herbicide at avoided cost. I'm Dandy Dan. The Nature Store. Just like a real store. 3, 2, 1. Selfie! It's time for Selfie Help. A long, hard look in the mirror of the disaster you call life. Justin Hustin is ill-equipped to give advice. and he has no training in the fields of psychiatry, psychology, or social work. You know, over the weekend on Sunday, sometime, I guess I had a real bad case of the hat burn. I guess I must have just, used a little too much force to put my hat on. I ended up with a pretty nasty scrape or scuffle, I guess a scuff you might call it, right there on my head. So it turns out I used up all my permathol, and I had to go over to the nature store on Monday to get some more. And on the way out, I was talking to Clarendella about, the clocks all suddenly changing overnight in the federal government. And, how did she feel about all of that? Just out of the blue, losing an hour's sleep. And she said, "You're not losing an hour, you're gaining a son-in-law." So I got out of there. But, many of you suffer from somnia, or the can't sleeps, as Mother used to call it. We hope to speak to Mother later in this program or another program. But anyway, if you have occasional somnia from time to time, you may wake up tired or gassy, sometimes even ill-tempered. Someone at your office might say, "Get him," or "She woke up on the wrong side of the bed." Not a big deal. However, if you have somnia more than 5 times per week, you may have chronic somnia or insomnia. Over time, if left untreated, people begin to hallucinate and get diabetes. In extreme cases, a person may doze off on the bus, drool, and slump over, coming to rest on the shoulder of an uncooperative stranger. The stranger may become belligerent and ask you to "Wake the F up, dude," or suggest that you go F yourself. Very embarrassing. You'll certainly want to intervene on yourself or have a self-intervention before you reach that tipping point, before you are humiliated by a complete stranger on a bus you have no memory of boarding and no clue how to get off of. There are many costly and expensive cures, such as doctor pills, Japanese rub therapy, colon enlargement, and so forth. But what if you would rather save yourself a few bucks, or just don't like going places? The cure for somnia or insomnia may be closer than you think. It may be wholly contained in the things you already love. And those things may be awaiting your kind attention just over here. Right here in the linen closet, or there. Right there in the whiskey pantry. Now you've got it. Doubling or tripling your alcohol intake just before bedtime calms the nerves and dulls the senses, paving the way to a silent and dreamless sleep, also known as a blackout. Remember to roll... Raymond, where's my copy? Excuse me. Remember to roll yourself up tight in a favorite blanket or quilt as you sip, sip, sip the evening away. And finally, make sure to keep a washcloth and a bowl of ice water nearby. You'll need that, just in case those old night sweats do a cock-a-doodle-doo before the rooster do. So, glad I could help you help yourself today, tonight, Anyway, we'll be right back with all of the Twitters. I'm Goody Goodison for Peanuts and Pretzels, my brand new snack combining service. Spring is in the atmosphere. Peanuts and pretzels are 2 of America's favorites, but you can't handle it. The peanut, the pretzel, the pretzel, the peanut. You have no idea. Don't worry about it. Get a bag of this. Get a bag of that. Send them to me. Goody Goodison, 2558 2nd Street, New York, Pennsylvania, 787878. I'll mush them in there and I'll smoosh them around and put them all together in one bag. No more indecision. No more wasted time. I'm Goody Goodison. Peanuts and pretzels.
Reading Twitters, reading Twitters, reading Twitters, yeah!
Well, here we go with some of the best Twitters from, some of the best Twitters. So here we have Twitter at Twitter 12H. We'll never have avocado. How about that? Avocado. It says never have avocado the same way again. Smiley face, hands to the face, and it looks like the face is kind of melting there. And that's twitter.com/I/moment/710-168-3022-62349824 ... And then it's below that, it's a picture of a kind of a dirty old restaurant sign, and then it says, "New item at Del Taco Restaurants, guys!" ! Get yourself some ! Freshivo. Vine by gasoline. And well, they spelled gasoline wrong. GASOLEEN, and that's view on Vine. Here we have one. Twitter at Twitter MAR14. Twitter retweeted ExoMars orbiter. Safe journey to Mars! ! Waving hand sign. $ExoMars. Twitter added ExoMars orbiter at ESA_TGO YEEEEAAAHHHH! Thank you at Roscosmos for a rockin' ride to the space! 7 months and 500 million km to $Mars! ! ExoMars. So that's a real good one there. Here we have, do we have them all? This is all? Okay. Twitter at Twitter MAR14. Twitter retweeted Evening Standard taking flight. Londoners can get information about their air quality in their area by tweeting to @pigeonair.gb. Twitter added Evening Standard @Standard News. How a flock of pigeons fitted with sensors are helping to beat pollution in London. http://bit.ly/1NLGWG M. And there's a real nice picture of a bird flying over a river, and then behind it there's a Ferris wheel in front of a palace. Let's see if we can find one more. Here we have Twitter at Twitter MAR7. New emojis and more for the biggest $W20 cricket viewing party on Twitter, blog.twitter.com/2016 how-to-follow W20 on Twitter ... Well, those weren't very good. Those don't. We'll have to look in and see what's going on with all of the Twitters. Maybe it's just a bad time for Twitters. Anyway, the good news is, Misskelly is telling me that there is some really great news. We finally have our first email, or first one that we can read on the show. So many of the emailers are involved with using using language that we just can't really read on. This one comes from Quonset Thompson in Itta Mississippi. We used to drive through there when I was little on the way to Mother Hustin's folks in Indianola, but Dad would always say when we were passing through that it'd have been Arkansas if they'd have just kept driving, So it'd have been, boy, he was a card. But so Quonset Thompson writes in, and Quonset says, "Hey, Just," and he did. He spelled my name wrong. He had an apostrophe after the S, but that's so. He says, "Hey, Just. Why don't you ever talk about the presidential primaries?" Well, okay, thank you so much, Quonset Thompson, for that. We'll be right back. The Justin Hustin Show is brought to you by Long-Term Storage. Guess the Goody Gooderson family of services. And Tampoons, now with extra vodka. The process. Trouble in T-Town, DIVORCE. Offensive coordinator Lane Kiffin has been kicked off the home team, so to speak, by head wife Layla. You remember that song? By Eric and the Dominoes, deedle-deedle-deedle-dee, deedle-deedle-deedle-dee, you remember that? That was, I liked that one. It was called Layla as well, I believe. I bet Layla's parents thought it was a good idea to name her after that song, and they went ahead and did that, so I guess Layla is kind of joining me and sort of saying, I'm not a fan of Kiffin, my husband, but he's been a train wreck or a lane wreck just about everywhere. The Raiders, Tennessee, all kinds of underhanded, childish nonsense out at Southern Cal. People say what a great job he's been doing at the University of Alabama, turning 3-star quarterbacks into 3.5 or 3 and 3-star quarterbacks, and we better be lucky we got him. What I want to know is why Alabama keeps recruiting these middle-of-the-road fellas at quarterback. Come on. What about the process? Anyway, the Kiffin Union that began in the year 2000 appears to be kaput. Sources with almost no knowledge of the couple's personal affairs claim it's because the father of 3 spent too much time at work and too many nights in bars and picking at women and calling himself the fancy-free Joey Freshwater. Well, let's hope it all goes okay. Now, we want to try and get Mother Hustin on the line, find out what she thinks about all this shoo-shoo from way down in Alabaster, Alabama. She got her phone fixed and good. Oh, good. It's ringing now. Raymond, I can hear her phone ringing. Listen at that.
To take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Who is that? Raymond. Who is that man on Mother's phone machine? Why is there a man on her phone machine? Well, who is he? There's not supposed to be a man. When did she get a phone machine? I'm going to have to drive down. Well, that's all the time for today. For Bilco Media, producer Raymond, and technical director Misskelly, I'm Justin Hustin saying so long, everybody. Raymond. Who is that man?